That's flopped, hasn't it? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of my vlogs. Today guys, behind me, as you can see, I'm in the G20. You guys wanted a lot more content on the G20, so here I am. I'm going to try and cover some of that off today. Today I'm going to be doing the launch control on my 320 diesel. Yes, this car has launch control, even in diesel form. And also I'm going to be talking to you guys about the adaptive suspension and how that works on those country lanes. So let's go and do that right now. So what we're going to do in this vid is I'm going to talk to you about the G20 in terms of the adaptive suspension, which is part of the M Sport Plus pack. It comes as a standard feature when you opt for that option, and also a little bit later on we're going to do the launch control and see how this car launches. So let's get on with it. The adaptive suspension, it's a feature which I think makes the current crop of BMWs a lot better to drive and kind of, you know, improve the handling around some twisty lanes. It's a feature that I had on my M140i, and I've driven so many BMWs with and without the adaptive, and the difference, some people will say that it's not a night and day difference and it's not worth the extra amount of money for that option. Personally, having had it on the M140i, got it on this car, I wouldn't really have another BMW without that. You just get so used to it. I mean, my previous F30 didn't have the adaptive suspension. That was riding on 19-inch wheels, and that used to always feel really firm and crashy over like potholes. I drove a F30 335D, which was quite highly spec'd F30 that had the adaptive suspension, and you could tell straight away. And I was always kicking myself, kind of thinking, you know what, I should have had the adaptive on the F30. Fortunately, I have got it on this car, and I can tell you one thing, that it changes the whole driving dynamics of the G20. The best thing about the G20's driving dynamics is you can customize how you want the sports mode to be. So, you know, you can have it with stiffer suspension, you can have it with comfort suspension, or the damping rather, and the weightness of the steering as well. You can have that in the comfort, or you can have it in its kind of sport mode. I do think that when it's in the sport mode, I do think that the steering does become a bit overly weighted. It has got quite a nice steering feel though, I must say. It's not hydraulic, but it's certainly better than how some of the electric power steering on the BMWs has been. So it does give you that a little bit more of a analog feel. So there's a button down here, it's adaptive. When you press that button, apparently adjusts the vehicle setting to the driving situation, and I'm not really sure what it exactly does. Like, you know, I mean, you certainly feel like you're still in comfort mode, so it just feels that the car just goes over the road surfaces and it adapts to it. So if you're on the proper crashy old kind of road and you put it into that setting, I think after a little while it just starts to learn the road and just becomes a little bit more compliant through those uneven undulations in the road, I guess. I think in fact I can feel it right now, because this road is quite bumpy, and it's still quite bumpy, but the car's just somehow adapted to all those uneven bumps and just tries to keep the whole car kind of balanced in a way. So we're going to launch this thing. So the first thing that we do is put the car into its sports gearbox. We then put the car into its sport mode, into standard sport mode. We take the traction control into its traction mode, which you can see down there. You can say traction. And then we hold the brake down firmly. We press the accelerator to its limit. Launch control active. And then off we go. Right. Okay. Well, it certainly launched the car. that's no doubt. But I think didn't really launch it as quick as I was expecting it to. You know, that kind of 0 to 60 time off about 6.8 seconds. It didn't really feel that quick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try without launch control. Yeah, so we'll keep the traction off as it is. In fact, we'll put the traction back on. We'll just do it with the sport mode into S1, and yeah, we just floor it now. This definitely feels quicker. Yeah, that definitely felt quicker compared to launch control. That did. I think obviously with launch control it does try and learn like the road conditions and what have you. I mean, at that point I even had traction control on and it just felt it was a lot more brisk and a lot more quicker compared to how it was with the launch control. Adaptive is a huge improvement to the standard passive setup on the car like this. Obviously when you're specking up a G20, just hit that M Sport Plus pack option and you get the adaptive suspension. It makes the car drive just so much better compared to the passive setup. Launch control is a little bit of a gimmick, I think, on the car like this. It's probably easier and just to kind of floor the car, and it'll get up to speed fairly quickly anyway. I will be covering a lot more content on the G20, like for instance I'll do like an in-depth review on the iDrive 7, so if you guys are interested in that across any G series cars, keep a lookout for that vid. I will also be doing some more vids on the M4. If you're interested in them, again, just consider subscribing to the channel. Hopefully guys you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.